what was the theory of the case on the revenue increases?
So our tax increases, we knew that we wanted to both fully fund the level of investment we think we needed, but we wanted to do it in the least harmful way. We know that anytime you tax something, you get less of it. So we started by raising taxes on things that we think that we actually do want less of. So carbon pollution, raising taxes on emissions would both make us have a cleaner economy, be good for growth in the long run, and help reduce the deficit. That's a win-win. And then when we needed additional revenue beyond that, we prioritize taxing consumption over taxing work, and also trying to tax what we call unearned income, income that you get without having to do any hard work or productive investment to generate it. And so to that end, one of our biggest taxes in there is increasing the inheritance tax, or actually replacing the existing estate tax with a more aggressive, more progressive inheritance tax.
And speaking of taxes, let me bring Steve into the conversation. Steve?
Yeah, so let's go back. You just mentioned this notion of unearned income, and you referred to the estate tax versus the inheritance tax. That may be confusing for some people. Could you sort of walk us through what your thought process was in terms of the proposal of switching from an estate tax to the inheritance tax?
Sure. So right now we have an estate tax. That is a tax that is levied on the estate of somebody after they die. Now it only applies to the highest of highest value estates. Right now the exemption is over $24 million per couple. So if your parents leave you $20 million, you don't have to pay a dollar of tax on it. Whereas a public school teacher making $50,000 a year or $60,000 a year, who will never have that much income in their entire life, is paying a substantial share of that in taxes. And so we wanted to reduce that inequity. And so part of the way we do it is by transitioning the tax on the estate, which has been politically lambasted as a death tax, to an inheritance tax that, instead of taxing the estate, taxes the inheritance as income when it is received by the heir. And that not only has some economic efficiency benefits, it closes a lot of loopholes in the existing estate tax, but it also clarifies this is not a tax on you and your hard work when you die. This is a tax on heirs for getting income just like everybody else, but that they did far less work, if any, probably none, to earn.